over before it even begins.
I'm not playing games, Slade.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like the blocking's off in this scene. Batman's walking super close to Slade in one shot, and then he suddenly cuts to a new angle where Slade is pointing his sword from across the room. It just feels weird to me.
Tell me where I can find Black Mask.
The limit you place on yourself will make collecting this money all too easy. Did you not spot the opening I gave you? I know you saw an opening, yet you didn't take it. Why?
I just love this line of dialogue from Slade. It works both as a jab at Batman and, let's be honest, at us as the player, but it also doubles as a subtle hint for us to counter his attacks. It's smart writing that adds character and gameplay value all in one. This is by far one of the best boss fights in the series. A lot of players even say this is their favorite, right up there with Mr. Freeze fight in Arkham City. I'm not sure I'll go that far personally, but it's definitely a standout. Great pacing, solid challenge, and just all around a memorable moment in the game. One of the things I really love about this boss fight is how, on the surface level, it follows a pretty basic pattern. You get a few hits in, then counter his attacks, but once you dig into it, there's a lot more depth to the mechanics than it first lets on. It's pretty well known that the first phase of the fight is the simplest, when Deathstroke is still masked. All you really need to do is land a few clean strikes and avoid his staff attacks. Straightforward. But once you knock his helmet off, he becomes more aggressive. He attacks more frequently, so your timing with his counters has to be sharper. What's really cool is how he adapts. If you keep using the same tactic, like repeatedly hitting him with the bat claw, he actually starts dodging it by strafing away. And if you try backing him into a corner, he'll flip over Batman and reposition him back to the center of the arena every time. It's like he refuses to be cornered. Once his staff breaks, he switches to the sword, and you gotta be careful. That sword clearly does more damage than the staff. And if you play too aggressively, Deathstroke will start baiting you, attacking just as you're about to strike, catching off guard and pushing you for being careless. All of that layered together makes this fight feel more dynamic than it seems at first glance. It rewards patience, timing, and strategy, and that's what makes it stand out so much. You can really tell that a lot of time, thought, and detail went into crafting this boss fight, and I truly love it for that. And it's not just a flashy or cinematic, it's smart, responsive, and layered in a way that makes you respect this design every time you replay it. Let's talk about Slade as a character for a moment. He's honestly pretty great. Personally, I only knew Slade from the Teen Titans growing up, so seeing him show up in a mainline Batman game was pretty cool. In the comics, he's usually considered more of a Nightwing's nemesis, so having him face off Batman here was a bit unexpected, but I think it works. He fits the role really well in this universe. His demeanor, his strategy, and the weight of his decisions all feel right for the Arkham world. He's calculated, intimidating, and leaves a strong impression even if he isn't in the game for very long. Mark Rolston does a great job capturing that rough assassin-like demeanor Slade has in the game. Rolston's take fits this gritty, more grounded version of Slade perfectly. I also really like how calm Slade is throughout the entire fight. It shows how confident and maybe a little too cocky he is going up against Batman. That said, you think his heart rate would be a bit higher considering he's running around locked in an intense fight, but hey, maybe that's just Slade being Slade, always acting like he's in total control.
It's over, Slade. What are you?
I've always felt like this line was going to be, "What are you talking about?" Just the way he pauses after
What?
for a second. It's engraved in my mind every time I see this scene.
No saying you, Batman.
A bit of a continuity shot with the women leaning on him, and in the next shot, they're not. I might have to start a count here because this is getting kind of ridiculous with all these shots.
Feel free to let yourself out.
Blech. I guess I gotta drop a coin in the thirst jar for this one, even though it honestly makes me sick just looking at it. Ugh. I don't even want to know how much Penguin pays these girls to perform. Let's just call it a mating dance for him. Whatever it is, it's probably not enough. Ooh, one detail I forgot to mention in Origins, Penguin doesn't have his bottle shoved in his eye yet like we see in Arkham City or Night, so the injury must happen between Origins and Asylum. It's a small thing, but it's a great continuity and helps place this game more firmly in the Arkham timeline. I've always liked how Batman takes Deathstroke's remote claw after the fight. It totally feels like a trophy. Nice touch here, you can still see the broken bar and Slade's mask on the ground instead of them just disappearing. Also, the sword is still in the wall.
Alfred, see if you can find any information on a murder at Lacey Towers.
Looks like the police are on the scene now, sir. Oh, and this is interesting. They're saying Black Mask is the victim.
Black Mask dead. I'm on my way there now.
I love you can hear the surprised tone in his voice here. It's rare to catch Batman off guard like this.
Alfred, get GCPD to take a look at the final offer. More to Dixon Docks. They'll find Slade Wilson tied up and waiting for them, along with some of Penguin's illegally obtained weapons.
Another anonymous tip? Will do, sir.
Since Batman learned his lesson about not tying up the electrocutioner or calling the police to grab him, he's making sure he does it right this time, with Deathstroke. Also, I just love how Alfred is always ready to do that job. I really like how on the database, every time we capture someone, their file gets updated to show they've been marked as captured. I don't know why, but it feels really satisfying. Like you're actually making progress and checking names off the list. Small detail, but a good one.
Oppressed citizens of Gotham, your cries for help have been heard. I am Anarchy, voice of the people, here to save you from the plague of corruption that now infests this once proud city. Those hired and elected to keep us free and safe won't lift a finger. And why would they? They've been bought and paid for, encouraged to turn a blind eye. If they won't act, I will. At dawn's first light, the sources of Gotham's ruin will be destroyed. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming of propaganda and consumerist garbage.
As if there isn't enough going on tonight.
I'll talk more about Anarchy when we get to his side mission, but just to touch up on him briefly, I think he's a pretty interesting character. Honestly, some of his points he makes are valid, but then I remember he's also the guy who thought bombing public spaces was a good way to prove a point. Like, no, my guy. His morals might make sense if he weren't going about it in such a reckless and frankly dumb way. There's a solid idea behind this character, but it feels like it never really fully goes anywhere within this game, and maybe that was the idea. That said, I do think his voice acting is really strong. Matthew Mercer does a pretty amazing job with this character. He also voices Robin in Arkham Knight. Always fun spotting crossover talent like that. You have got to be kidding me. You expect me to believe that Batman can't punch through a few planks of wood? This is a guy who rips concrete walls down with a back claw, but apparently weak wooden boards are too much for him.
Only Penguin's guys were doing a deal in Jezebel Plaza when the bat showed up. Didn't end too well for him. Think their stuff's still there. We should take a look. And too late. SWAT beat us to it. Damn, those dudes are good. Yeah. GCPD radios in for someone to secure the scene, right? So these guys roll up in a van, pack up the stuff, and bail. I got a feeling they're not bringing them back to the evidence locker. Hell no. They'll keep the best gear for themselves and sell whatever's left. Probably back to Cobblepot. Working SWAT sounds like a pretty sweet gig. We should find a way to get in on that action.
Here's another reminder of the corruption running through the JCPD, especially with the SWAT team. You can hear them talking about taking the evidence and reselling it for profit. It's something that was mentioned earlier in the game, and honestly, most players probably forgot about it by now. So it's a nice touch that they keep it looming in the background. It really reinforces how deep the rot goes. Also, I just love the goons casually talking about career changes. They're like, yeah, crime's been rough. Might try something new. It's those little moments that bring Gotham to life more.
Black Mask has been acting real strange lately. No way to know what he's up to. Maybe he's gonna bring in some of the assassins, huh? Like a lieutenant or something. I don't think they're looking to settle down. They came to Gotham to make a quick buck, bring down the bat, and then get back to whatever the hell it is they do. Pretty nice life if you ask me. They get to travel all over the world, kicking ass and making money. Yeah, except they've always got somebody at their back. In and out of prison all the time. Fighting with each other, dealing with guys like Batman. I don't know. I kind of like keeping it low key.
This is one of the first subtle signs that something's off with Black Mask. From this point on, the game slowly starts building that tension, and you begin to wonder, what's really going on behind that mask? It's such a smart writing choice because most players, myself included, just assume this is normal behavior for Black Mask, especially after the intense intro at Blackgate. But little by little, you start to notice the cracks in the mask, figuratively and literally, until it all leads up to that big reveal. It's a slow burn, but it's well executed.
Pop in one of those giant floating balloons. I'd pay to see that. A huge boom, and then little bits of balloon raining down on the street. The kids would probably go berserk. All that screaming and crying? Never mind. Totally still worth it.
That guy changed his mind real quick once he realized what popping one of those balloons could actually mean.
The bat ain't gonna know what hit him. I don't think he's ever had to deal with this much heat at the same time before. Don't forget about Sionis and Cobblepot. I'm sure their crews are planning to take advantage of the situation. And the SWAT guys. I'm hearing they're after the bounty too. Definitely not looking good for the bat tonight.
Ooh, now we're starting to hear some rumors going around about the SWAT being after Batman now. It's a subtle way for the game to ramp up the pressure, not just by the criminals and the assassins, but from the system itself.
Rubio, what's your 20? On the balcony for a smoke with a menace.
For the longest time, I thought he said The Menace, and I was like, wow, that's actually a pretty cool nickname for this random guy. But nope, subtitles have proven me wrong once again.
Sure case. Penguin murdered Black Mask and his lady friend. I mean, we found the bastard's stubby little fingerprints right by the bodies. Yeah, we got Penguin now. Like to see him squirm out of this one. Fingerprints, 2 dead bodies. He's about to do some time. Yeah, except forensics will take all the credit. And I'm the one who found the prints. That's why they call it first response. First pickings on the loot, but none of the glory. Me, I take the loot over the glory any day.
Now we get to witness firsthand what that goon mentioned earlier, the corruption running deep through the GCPD, especially with the SWAT team. It's one thing to hear it in passing, but seeing it play out like this really drives that point home. Gotham's problems clearly aren't just on the street. They're inside the system too. Just for the record, these two aren't smoking like the guy on the radio claimed. Just wanted to be a little tattletale here. One of my favorite Easter eggs in this game is the mention of Dr. Penelope Young on the door here. Some fans might have forgotten about her from Arkham Asylum, but it's a cool tie-in detail. It's nice to see that she was already in Gotham during this time, years before the event of the Asylum. Little connections like this really help make the Arkhamverse feel connected and alive. I guess that's one way to show the cops have been here. Just look at all these leftover donuts scattered around the crime scene.
The police believe Penguin murdered Black Mask. But why would he send me here if he was the killer? It doesn't add up.
I guess that's a good point, but at the same time, don't villains usually tell you what they did on purpose just for you to run off and play right into their plan? Just saying.
This crime took place days ago. The fire and the exposure to the elements make identifying the victims difficult. The male victim is wearing a black mask, but I can't positively identify him as Roman Sionis without a DNA analysis. Something I can't do in the field.
I've always liked that there's a bit of a limitation to detective mode in this section. It's a nice touch, especially since that mode can feel pretty overpowered sometimes. It makes sense story-wise too, and help keep things more grounded.
I can identify the female victim based on her fingerprints. Tiffany Ambrose, Roman Sionis' girlfriend. Or one of them at least. She...
I love how Bruce acts like he's judging Roman here for having more than one girlfriend. Like, really? This is coming from Bruce Wayne? We all know your track record with women. It's such an arrogant little detail, but it honestly makes me laugh every time.
The fire spread as a result of a Molotov cocktail thrown into the room. It may have been intended to destroy evidence.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
The shallow trajectory of the bullet suggests the shooter could be someone of Penguin's height. But the grooves on the floor suggest that the victim was killed by someone leaning back in a chair.
I remember thinking this was an amazing reveal the first time I played it. It was one of those creative twists that totally caught me off guard, and I bet most players didn't even consider it until he actually said it.
This bullet was fired from a revolver. Ballistics analysis indicates a low angle of trajectory. The shooter could have been someone of Penguin's height, but the pattern in the gunpowder residue suggests the bullet was actually fired by someone lying on the ground. These white streaks are shoe polish. Whoever shot Tiffany was being dragged along the floor. Besides the victims, there were 2 other people in the room. Tiffany's shooter, and whoever was dragging the shooter. The location from which the male victim was shot may tell me more. The fight broke out when someone startled the shooter. It's not clear who won the fight. It could have been either one of them. I should review the evidence to see if I can learn anything more about either the intruder or the shooter.
This murder scene was genuinely thrilling. I was completely drawn into the unfolding mystery. It's incredible in terms of story, suspense, and unexpected twist. Even though the clues slowly start pointing towards Joker being behind it all, it still managed to keep you on edge the entire time. Honestly, this is one of the best investigation scenes in the entire Arkham series, if you ask me.
She was sending text messages to Roman Sionis about someone named the Joker.
I couldn't help but notice the rushed grammar in the text exchange between these two lovers. There's no comma after hurry, no periods, and almost every word is capitalized, except for the one question mark she managed to include. It's a small, throwaway piece of evidence meant to show what was happening before Joker appeared, but the messy texting actually adds a touch of realism. It feels like something people would send in a panic. One thing I've always wondered is how did Tiffany know Joker was after her? I'm guessing he stalked her or followed her there, but how would she even know who he was at this point? It feels a little off in the writing, like there was a missing piece we're just meant to assume.
Someone killed Black Mask, but this crime took place several days ago, and I saw Black Mask earlier tonight. The only answers I have raise more questions. Who is the Joker? Was he the killer here? Or is he one of the assassins? I have a body, an unknown shooter, and an unknown assailant who attacked the shooter. I need to match the DNA samples against the records in the National Criminal Database to identify who was in the room.
I love seeing Batman in his full detective element here. It reminds me of that moment in Arkham City where he thinks Talia killed Joker. He's completely in his head, a million thoughts racing as he tries to make sense of the situation that just doesn't add up. Moments like this really highlight the world's greatest detective side of him.
Alfred, I need access to the National Criminal Database.
Well, the only way to do that would be to infiltrate the Gotham City Police Department.
I love when Alfred slips in his bitch please voice. It cracks me up every time. That dry, refined sarcasm is unmatched.
Sir, you'd need to physically hack into their servers. If you insist on doing something that foolish, you'll need a powerful, non-lethal weapon. I recommend coming back here to pick up your concussion detonator.
Not a bad idea.
Alfred pretty much told Bruce he forgot his lunch money and should come back and get it. And yes, I'll be that person. That blood should be black by now, if it's been a couple of days. Even in Arkham Asylum got that detail right. And that took place over a couple hours and they had black blood. Come on. Creepy mask collection we can see around his apartment. This mask gives me the Silence of the Lamb vibes. Ugh. I always like this painting. It reminds me of Camelot for some reason.
I'm an officer of the law!
And also can go through things, I see. I really appreciate the extreme fast loading screen since I'm on PC now.
Welcome home, sir. The concussion detonator is on your workbench. Remember, if you use that instead of your fists, you'll do less lasting damage to those police officers and civil servants.
Noted.
Alfred seriously becomes more likable with every scene he's in.
Well played, sir. You stopped the electrocutioner with a single strike.
I just used his arrogance to my advantage. A textbook move a child could have avoided.
True, but I doubt the rest of them will go down as easily.
If they do, we'll be eating that Christmas ham sooner than you think.
Sir, come back whenever you want to farm for EXP from my wisdom.
Master Bruce, guards have been doubled at police precincts since Loeb's murder. You'll need to find a way to sneak in that won't attract attention. Otherwise, you'll never make it to the server room.
Understood. Thanks.
Rare Bruce. Rare thanks out of Bruce here. I like how this guy is just casually drawing a triangle in the snow from his post.
Hey, you hear that? Yeah, probably another water pipe bursting. Love to go take a look, but, you know, my shift's over. Loeb understood. The problem is Gordon ain't a team player.
This won't be easy, but if I'm going to access the National Criminal Database and find out what happened at Lacey Towers, I need to find the server room without being discovered.
So frustrating when you're trying to listen to the dialogue and Batman's internal monologue cuts in and talks over it. Also, I love how this guy said his shift is over, yet he doesn't get out of the elevator. I love how Batman just said,
I need to find the server room without being discovered.
Yeah, he makes so much racket tearing off the vent. Like, bruh, can you be any louder?
There's 8 assassins in town tonight. From the info we've been gathering, they're among the most dangerous criminals on record. Period. After interrogating Waylon Jones, we've learned that they're all competing for a huge bounty, which Black Mask has offered for the head of the Bat.
Where do I sign up?
I thought he was a ghost. All right, cut the chatter, people. Our goal is to ensure order in this city.
I guess they ran out of the animation budget for idle poses. Everyone's just standing there with their arms crossed. They could have at least mixed it up a couple different stances to break it up a little.
Tell them to keep their eyes open next time.
Clear!
Clear! 622 has left the holding.
I got a pulse.
Must you be so brutal, sir? These are city employees.
They're as corrupt as they come, and they're in my way.
I wish you'd think twice about that approach, sir. You never know when you might need their help. At any rate, your objective is the GCPD server room. I've marked it on your map.
I really like how Alfred subtly starts planting the idea in Bruce's mind that he might need help one day. It's a quiet but powerful moment that shows Alfred isn't just a caretaker. He's a true role model and a guiding force in Bruce's life. There are some recognizable names on this board here that longtime comic book fans and fans of the BTAS series might catch. It's a fun little nod for those who know.
Told yous already. What I saw is what I saw.
What are you on?
I done been clean 3 days. Like I said, things swooped down out of nowhere. Huge wings and claws. Like two of these dog things. Paralyze those bastards.
Paralyzing dark things? What, you think I'm a schmuck, huh? I look like a schmuck to you?
No. I ain't saying that.
Oh, he's definitely on something. I got a guy in lockup who can sell whatever he's carrying.
Yeah, in a minute. Gotta get his story straight first. Now, let's go through it again.
Hey, here's some variety of the idol poses with the cop casually propping his leg on the wall. I love these flyers on the floor, one teasing the Flying Grayson's upcoming performance and another nodding to Basil Carlo, aka Clayface, doing a one-man's impression show. Such a clever little Easter egg, easy to miss.
Alright, listen up. While you jokers were playing cleanup crew at Blackgate, I was making us some money. I worked out a deal with our pal Black Mask. If any of us can kill the bat before the assassins get to him, we get the bounty. All $50 million of it. And for those of you who ain't too good with the math, that means we all retire early.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Let's take him down then.
Yeah. What are we waiting for?
Enough! We only get one night to get this done. So whatever they put you on tonight, I want you to blow it off. Finding and killing the bat is your #1 priority. That clear?
Yes, sir. All clear. Clear as day, sir.
You got it.
Sir, yes, sir.
Questions? Shout them out.
How are we gonna keep this from Gordon and the rest of the force?
Well, for starters, you're gonna keep your damn trap shut. Anyone else?
Sir, what about the assassins? Will they see us as competition?
Yeah, I didn't sign up to be on those guys' hit list.
Look, y'all put your lives at risk when you signed up for SWAT. Now, you want to make the big money, you're gonna have to accept bigger risk. That's how it works. Anyone wants out can hand me their badge. Didn't think so. We good to go?
Wait, Brandon. How do we know Black Mask will keep his end of the deal if we do kill the bat?
He's good for the cash, trust me. And I know where he's stashing it.
If you know where he's got the cash, why don't we go get it?
Because the last thing we need is a war with Black Mask and his men. Come on, guys, let's do this.
I really like how they introduced Brandon in the series and portrayed him as everything wrong with the JCPD. Corrupt, violent, greedy, and more of a criminal than a cop. It was a smart way to reinforce the player's alignment with Batman throughout the story. Also, I love how he called his men jokers. I love it when the writers wink at the player. Also, great detail here. Finding doodles and graffiti on Gordon's photos. It shows that some of the cops clearly aren't thrilled about him becoming the next chief. Great example of environmental storytelling without having to spell it out through dialogue. Nice detail with the posters on the wall advertising the New Year's party at My Alibi Club. We actually see that spot in the DLC, and don't overlook the Secret Santa gift exchange. Very important. I've already got mine ready to go. I bet he would be more gentle if that was a donut machine.
So what does this disruptor of yours do?
Little bit of this, little bit of that. Mostly, though, it does a whole lot of none of your damn business.
Oh, you want to play it like that? All right. Maybe I'll have the guys over at Evidence Lockup take a look. They can get kind of rough, though. Hope it's not fragile.
You want to play hardball, buddy? How's about I tell my cousin at the Gazette about the payments you boys been extorting from Penguin and the like?
Scum like you's got a cousin at the Gazette. You expect me to believe that?
Don't see you calling Evidence Lockup, now do I? You cops are all the same. You ain't getting nothing out of me.
Like I said, I got all night.
You and me both, pal.
I really like this cocky little animation here. Loose Lips casually putting his arms behind his back for a moment. It adds so much to his character, even though it's just for a couple seconds. You can actually spot Loose Lips' file sitting on the desk here. A really nice little detail that adds so much subtle depth to the scene, in my opinion. A really fun detail here. The camera is actually in real time. You can see Loose Lips sitting down, and then moments later, he gets up right after you take down the guard.
Talk, or you won't be walking anywhere, ever.
No way! You gotta answer for dropping me off that rooftop, buddy!
No, you have to answer to me. How does this disruptor work?
Ask one of the pigs! They got it in Evidence Lockup!
How about we take a little walk up to the roof?
Okay, Okay, you win. It jams weapons, overrides electronic locks, all right? Now you gotta let me go.
How'd that work out for you last time?
I honestly love every scene Loose Lips in. Such a quirky henchman. I really wish we got more of him in this game, and the fact that he's still wearing his Santa hat just makes it even better. It's interesting to find these two different notes scattered around the police department. They almost feel connected, like they're part of this bigger story that we're not aware of.
I don't care what's going on out there. I gotta deal with this problem. If I don't give this bastard what he wants, he'll send the tape to the press. What the hell am I supposed to do? That's the best you got? How am I gonna whack him if I don't know who he is? Guy's a mystery, complete friggin' enigma. Yeah, great advice, thanks.
Well, you must know something since you know his name.
Criminals that you let walk free.
He is the worst kind of criminal. The kind who thinks their actions are justified. Who acts completely outside the system.
The system is broken.
Barbara, wait.
I really love this brief interaction between Barbara and Gordon. It feels natural and necessary, laying the groundwork for the future scenes. Also, the way he says,
Barbara, wait.
Feels incredibly real, like something you genuinely hear in a moment of concern. Great line delivery there. I have to admit that I kind of miss the heart rate monitors. They add that extra layer of intensity and variety to Predator mode. I'm really glad they brought them back in this game. It raises that tension in the best way.
Shouldn't you be searching your quadrant? I'll leave that for the boys in SWAT. Why's that? Ain't you heard? Brandon made a deal with Black Mask. They're trying to kill the Bat and collect the bounty. You gotta be kidding me. Gordon know about this? Probably, but what's he gonna do? What can he do? Hell, he's lucky if Brandon and those guys ever listen to him. This department is so screwed. Hey, how do we get in on the bounty?
Sounds about right.
It's gotta look like an accident, like Gordon lost control. What we need is a classic prison riot.
You want a riot? Let me out.
Easy, Tiger. There's cameras around here. We ain't letting no one out.
He's got a point. Let this lunatic loose. It'll be freaking pandemonium in here.
Kind of odd how one guy sounds like he's coming through the radio while the others, including the prisoner, sounds completely normal. Definitely some strange audio mixing going on here. I really like the inclusions of the Venom users here. It's a great warm-up and a subtle reminder of who you'll be facing later. Plus, since they disappear afterwards, it feels like they're just here for the sake of entertainment. And honestly, I'm not complaining.
I don't understand. You let him out just to beat him up?
I didn't start the riot. It was Brandon and his SWAT officers.
Bull. A cop wouldn't do something like that.
You must be new here.
That's one of the best lines so far.
Charging.
Clear.
Clear. 622 has left the holding.
I got a pulse.
All right, call it in. Let's get him to Gotham General.
Will do. Soon as he stabilizes. Please, we don't want any trouble.
I'm not here to hurt you.
I love this bit of foreshadowing, something that seems totally unimportant at first, but ends up becoming literally a lifesaver later on. It's such a clever story choice that really pays off.
Easy.
Wait, hold up. Did she seriously just shove that computer down the back of her pants? What was even the point of having it in the scene if she wasn't going to use it? That's some clunky animation right there.
I need access to the National Criminal Database.
It's right here.
You must spend a lot of time here.
Cool poem box. You're bypassing the network security. But you'll need to physically bridge the intranet to the external telecom wires if you want to uplink remotely.
This kind of knowledge could get a young girl into a lot of trouble.
They run under the building.
What does?
The telecom wires. You can access them through the sewers. Wait. Why do you do what you do?
Because I made a promise.
What a great scene. You're going to hear me say that a lot with this game, but it's true. I love seeing a young Barbara Gordon already being a tech whiz and eager to help Batman, giving him the information he needs. And when she asks him why he does what he does, it's a simple answer. I made a promise. It hits hard. It's a powerful moment that shows their natural chemistry early on and sets up their dynamic we see evolve so well in the later games. Ooh, blink you miss a detail that Batman had his detective vision on, so he already knew Gordon was waiting up here.
I don't want to hurt you, but you need to stay out of my way.
Never.
Listen, I'm on your side.
My side? My side works within the law. My side doesn't leave suspects with broken bones and missing teeth. We've earned Gotham's respect.
If that were true, I wouldn't be here.
Back-to-back banger scenes. Seriously, it's incredible. Batman's line here is a direct rebuttal of Gordon's claim about the JCPD. It's a powerful moment that cuts right to the core of his role in Gotham. Batman views his vigilante crusade as a necessary response to the police force's corruptions and failures. If they were clean, competent, and truly in control, there will be no need for him to operate outside the law. It's not just a clash of ideology, it's Batman calling out the broken system. And we finally get to see the tension between Gordon and Batman take center stage for the first time. The writing here is just top tier, settled, charged, and grounded in their conflicted worldviews. It's the beginning of a dynamic that will evolve throughout the series, and this is the first clash that lays that foundation perfectly.
I've highlighted a nearby manhole on your map. Those sewer tunnels lead directly under the GCPD.
Good work, Alfred.
Oh, and, sir, do try to keep out of the muck down there. Remember who has to clean your suit.
Give this man the world's greatest dad cup already. He deserves it way more. We will go down in the sewers and figure out who the Joker is next time in part 4. What's your favorite scene in Arkham Origins? Let me know down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you want to stay more involved with the community, I post regularly on the community tab about news on Batman media, fun polls, behind the scenes, and so much more. So make sure you click that ding 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 dong on the bell notification so you don't miss out. And also, why not subscribe and join our Bat family? Us nerds need to stick together. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Stay tuned.